Okay, I'm gonna pull this trigger, y'all. It's Friday, and I know we've already got a handful of folks on, so I appreciate everybody coming on, including kind of the reason we're doing the stream today, in a roundabout manner of speaking. I'm Brian, by the way. Hi y'all. So yeah, it's Friday. I feel like I need to do something on a Friday that instead of just normally what we do, which is just me talking a bunch of about a bunch of stuff, or something that something I've thought deeply about, on a deeply being about 2 foot in the swim pool for me. But hey Walt, hey Fix It, how you all doing? Hey Jeff, new person, but Jeff is kind of the reason we're here today. So we're gonna go through, and I am going to use some of Jeff's content that he's created to create a malware sandbox. Now, if you've ever watched a cooking show, you might have noticed, wow, they already have a cake already made in the oven. What you don't know is in the background, there's a bunch of cooks who are cooking some shit in the background, and they've already created the cake for them. So, they don't want to have to wait 40 minutes while they're, on the show while they're waiting for the cooking to be done. So they've pre-made a cake. So some of the stuff that I've done, he has a 3-hour video on setting up a sandbox using Remnux, Windows 10, VirtualBox. So these are all free tools that you can use, so it's not going to cost you a penny. Now, if you have a Windows 10 key, you can use that, which I have activated my Windows 10 instance, but other than that, that's the thing. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time discussing, other than, yeah, Jeff, hey, there's Jeff up there, Jeff of all trades. One thing I will tell you is, don't, oh, I appreciate it. Hey, Terradome, Producer Wolf, wow. Welcome, Producer Wolf and Minion. The first thing I will do is I'll say that none of what I'm going to do today is original for me. It's all Jeff's content. So any mistakes I make should not be reflective of Jeff's content. I tend to find ways to fuck things up. So as you've seen with me doing like XCP&G and other things, I will find a way to mess this up, which is why I was trying to front load as much as possible so that you're not sitting here trying to watch me and doing dead air and what have you. So, well, to be fair, yes, Jeff does have a few peccadillos in his video, which I was happy to see that I'm not alone in my creation of content. So, one, I will go ahead and get us started here. As you can see, this is Jeff. So for y'all who want to see who Jeff looks like, Jeff has a YouTube channel called Jeff of All Trades. So I will put that in our chat windows here for everybody. There we go. And you can go and subscribe to his content. He does a bunch of cool stuff. He's got modding Roller Coaster Tycoon, reverse engineering and weaponizing XP Solitaire. That's pretty sweet. Okay, because that's on every box. Plus, it's like the tool of managers. So you could own up managers good if they're just bored and start playing solitaire. So he also has some shorts on here. And so this video you will find is right here, which just a moment. Oops, here. Okay. Well, I actually started again. So yeah, his malware analysis lab for free with a Crack Me challenge. So he has a GitHub where you can download the the GitHub challenge, the Crack Me challenge, which is right here. So you can go and grab that as well. I'll put that in our chat windows. Doink and doink. Jeff says, happy to come on video. I've not done Twitch. Will probably be a noob when it comes to AV setup, but I have my mic. Oh, I appreciate that, Jeff. Normally when we do interviews, it's over Zoom. So, I mean, I could set up a Zoom and everything and make that happen. Not that it would add any complexity whatsoever, but I'm more than willing to have you on again because, I don't analyze malware on the regs. So might be fun to have you come on after we get everything set up. Maybe another episode, maybe another Friday, and we'll sit down and we'll analyze some malware together. Maybe something that won't completely own up my machine when I go, oh, what does this button do? No, don't push that button, and then my screen goes dark. Yeah. Husin, would you happen to know if your video is much different than PMAT's course material? Oh, asking Jeff. Okay. Yeah, feel free to talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to get started here, so y'all can hang out. Shout out to Producer Wolf for the raid, by the way. Producer Wolf. I will type faster and better, I promise. La la la. Anyway, so Jeff's GitHub is right here. Jeff of all trades. He's got a bunch of stuff in here. Actually, his tutorials. He's got a lot of different things in his GitHub. So go grab that and he's got tutorials, IOCs. He's got something called Rat King Parser, which I believe we're going to be setting up on our Remnux box. Yarix. He's got some malware write-ups for various things. And he's also on Mastodon at infosec.exchange, Jeff of all trades, and has some Yara signatures, which is something I've also wanted to learn how to do, except I don't do malware at work, which I should learn how to do all this stuff. So this is his course. So one of the things he posted this up, and I'll tell you, I'll show you a timestamp of when he was doing some of the video on this stuff. Bro's up at like 3 a.m. 3 a.m. doing this stuff, hardcore. Maybe. Because he was showing where is it? Apparently he's been infected by something. He got himself a.
As always, a few important notes before.
Where is it?
Let's get the different flags you can find in the description.
Doink.
Let's see if we can't master.
He got infected. He started cloning. He has some kind of clone of himself here that he's got. That takes up time and effort. So I completely understand. So if the video, actually, I probably should slow the video down a little bit, but and try not to scream when I'm doing all this stuff. But so I would say first thing to do, if you don't want to go through this with me on the screen, watch the video, watch it all the way through, because that's something I have not done yet. I've gotten all the way to where we're setting up the Windows VM. There's some additional things you got to do in there for Windows 10. I decided to try not to do this with Windows 11 because, hey, I don't want to screw something up. So I do have a Windows 11 ISO that I could have used, but I decided to go ahead and use Windows 10 and would use Remnux and what have you. 3 kids and a wife. Okay, so I have 4 kids. 3 of them are all white and have 4 legs, and they have withering gazes and stares, and a wife as well. So completely understand. Completely understand. So this is Jeff's video. I'll probably mute that if I can. So he mentions, sometimes it's good to have a familiarity with Windows and Linux operating systems, familiar with the command line, familiarity with virtualization, in this case, VirtualBox. If you have a Mac, he did mention that some of the new development snapshots or some development versions will run on Mac Silicon, the new stuff. I do know, and actually I was looking at Sans courses, if you have a MacBook like with the new silicone in it, they say that their stuff won't work with their VMs and stuff won't work with those versions. So if you've got like a MacBook and you're going to go take a Sans course, like at one of the summits or something going on, you're going to need a Windows laptop. You're going to need an Intel-based laptop to do that. So something interesting there that I found out that, you may end up having to spend another $800-900 to get a decent laptop to take your Sans course, in addition to the $10,000 that you're already spending on the course. So here's some of his nice to knows. If you're going to follow along, a couple of things, I'll go ahead and pause this. One thing I would say is go to Remnux's website. Go ahead and grab the ISOs for those because you want to start front end loading some of this stuff here. Also go to where you can download the Windows 10 ISO. Grab that one. Doink, doink. And then you'll need the installation media. You'll download that exe file, you'll install it, and it will also allow you to create an ISO. You just want to download the ISO, the full ISO, because the idea is you don't want to have to do any kind of net install or anything like that. So grab the full Remnux ISO, grab the Windows 10 install ISO. I want to say it's roughly, how big is that? If you're on dial-up, God help you. The ISO for me was 4.7 gigs. So, it'll fit on a DVD or what have you if, you're still burning DVDs. But yeah, it's 4.7 gigs worth of hot goodness. So give yourself some time to download that if you're on a less than optimal connection. I'll wait. Okay, hopefully you've paused it and you've downloaded by now. But anyway, a couple of other things that he came up with during the video. There's some GitHubs. So one of the things that is prevalent or common, I don't know if it's so common these days because everything's in the cloud, is the ability for malware to know that it is being ran on VMs. And when it does that, it may either act differently or not run at all. Some of the simple things that you've learned is one processor is usually not, a good indicator that it's a VM because you're trying to save resources because you're running this on a laptop or you're running this on your desktop or what have you. So, it was suggested when you're setting your VMs up to use more than one CPU. He actually had set the hard drive space on the Windows box to 60 gigs. I've set my new Windows VM for 80 gigs because there's some detections that, after a certain size of hard drive space, it will say, oh, if you got 40 gigs, then obviously you're a VM, or there may be, something like that. So there's this script, VBox Cloak, and there was another one about disabling Defender, which will come up in the Windows side as well. I'm sure there's some other stuff that I did not download. But these are PowerShell scripts and PowerShell files that you'll need if you're going through the process. If you're trying to make your VM less likely to be detected as a VM, which, being able to analyze these things as real as possible under as real world conditions as you can get is great. If you're still running bare metal, then, you could technically run this, but it's not recommended, I think. These two things are at least the things that I've seen so far that you can run on your Windows 10 box, that you can get to Cloak and also disable Defender, so that you don't have to worry about Defender blocking something, or with the idea that if the malware is not already bypassing Defender or whatever endpoint solution you've got, you want it to run and show everything possible that can be done. So you don't want Defender blocking something unnecessarily, or you don't want, God help you if you've got Norton antivirus in this day and age, but it is what it is. So what you see up on my screen right now, this is the Remnux that I have installed before. I've also done a few things on there, like added the shared folder. There's a section where he talks about adding Remnux user to VBox SF group, which we'll go through real quick. I do want to give his video the what it's due. So some of the things that are going to be kind of, I don't want to say duh, if you're dealing with virtualization, you're going to need to download VirtualBox as well. And the ISOs that I mentioned previously. So so here's the VirtualBox Manager. If you're on Linux, it's going to be very similar. If you're watching this and you want to ask Jeff some questions, feel free. He's in chat. Also, don't ask him, why aren't you doing this on Hyper-V? Why aren't you doing this on Virtual VM Workstation? Why aren't you doing this on KVM? Why aren't you doing this on Zen? Why aren't you doing this on this? This is not the only way to set up a malware sandbox. This is just a way to set up a malware sandbox. There are numerous and myriad ways of doing so, and numerous and myriad ways of fucking it up as well. So hopefully this is kind of the simplest way. It's okay, Jeff. No, it's all good, man. But there are myriad and sundry ways of setting up a malware sandbox, some more secure than others. Cuckoo's out there. There's all kinds of shit that you can use to run this. And I may be dating myself by saying cuckoo. People may not use cuckoo anymore. So, but myriad and sundry ways of doing these. This is just one of those ways. So, and I would invite you to go look at other YouTube channels and other videos on how to set those up. So there you go. Hey, Digital Warhead, what's going on, my man? He talks about that. He talks about VirtualBox. You're going to have a screen that looks like that. Go down and download your latest build versions. I'm on 7.0.18. You use whatever you feel comfortable with. It should run on anything, as recent as even version 6. He did mention, this is where he mentions that on the new Intel versions, the dev preview, I think, which at this time on 12 July 2024, this was the latest version that is fairly stable or will work with Mac, the Mac silicon that they have for the ARM processors. So, and of course, you know, your mileage may vary. So, yeah, not a lot of people come into the YouTube chat. I actually got all three of my screens up now, so I'm you know, making sure that I could see all of the screens and everything. Hey, IPO, hello, welcome. Like the Little Caesars of malware. Yes, it's hot and it's ready. Yes, fast, cheap, and good. Pick two, right? So you know, in this case, it's fast and cheap, and you know, it's probably better than average. I'll say that it's probably better than average. I actually don't hate Little Caesars. Now, if you said Chuck E. Cheese, I would have been like fast, cheap, good, pick. Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess. So 1 out of 3 ain't bad. All right. Anyway. So yeah, they mention up here in the test builds for ARM64 works in principle with M1, 2, and 3 CPUs. And actually, SANS may allow you to be able to do these things on class now, but you definitely, if you're going to take like a SANS course in July 2024 or later, or August, double check with the instructor and whatever. Like you know, I may want to reverse myself a little bit there. Double check with SANS to make sure that they haven't already gone, oh, there's a legitimate version here and you can run all your labs, because there may be some things that are incompatible with their labs. So. All right, so I'm going to skip through. Okay, we've downloaded VirtualBox. You're going to want to download the you know, the system extensions and whatever, and guest editions gets added automatically. We're going to go to Remnux. He does talk about some of the plugins that are available for Remnux. You know, there's general static properties. You can analyze code, unpacking of binaries, PE files, Python scripts, JavaScripts, .NET stuff. There's a Ghidra. So it's kind of like Kali Linux, but specifically for malware analysis. As a matter of fact, Kali probably has a lot of the tools that you might see in Remnux on there too. Back in the day when I was running Kali, I ran Kali because it had the only working version of Metasploit that I could actually get to work, which, you know, I realized was overkill now and didn't need it. But anyway, so the good thing about Remnux is you can download the VirtualBox OVA. The one that they gave you works really well. I did actually try that one. It is a bit old though, so if you do run the update or upgrade that he mentions later on in the video, the upgrade specifically took me a good 10 minutes to upgrade, you know, all of the boxes and to get updated. I think it was the 2022 version. So the upgrade, I may have already screwed myself by going upgrade instead of update. So we'll let Jeff, you know, tell me I'm about to screw the pooch here. But I did run, where is it? Don't look at some of the stuff that I did. Yeah, upgrade. I did run Rem upgrade. You can see I'm now on the latest version of Remnux, version 2024, which it was actually grinding for a good long while, enough that I could download my Windows ISO, make the ISO, and start my Windows VM. You can do these things in tandem as well. When you're running this update, you can be, you know, setting up your Windows VM. You just want to set up the Windows VM, not actually go through and do anything else. Get a kind of a clean version so you can make a snapshot. And that's one of the things that he does mention. You want to make snapshots of your cleanest stuff so that way you can unscrew the pooch when you're done. He mentions 2 CPUs. He has 4096 of RAM, I think. He does have the DVD. He does disable the USB controller, which kind of makes sense. And then, let me see what else. Yeah, take the USB controller off. Storage and logic, I think all of those things were the same. He does change the base folder, and that's more of a, I would imagine, preference. If you've got VMs somewhere, you want to keep them all in the same place. Let's see, current state. Yeah, so yeah, he's looking at the current state. Okay, so there's some additional information and attributes. Yeah, virtual, oh, did I back it up? Okay, so he does talk about Flare VM, which is another VM system that can be used, created by the Mandiants, which is now Google, to, you know, it's a collection of software installation scripts for Windows that you can easily maintain in a reverse engineering environment on a VM. So kind of like, I would say, Remnux, but for Windows, if you just want to go a purely Windows solution here. Yeah, chocolatey box starter, there's a bunch of stuff there. Chocolate, yeah, nougat, yeah, back in the day. So, let me see. Yeah, Flare VM. All right, let's skip through the Flare VM stuff again. Go watch the video if you want to watch all of the 3-hour course here. Also, I'm kind of doing this because I get CPE credits for my SysB as well while I'm working on this. So he's going through. He called his monkey paw, so you can call yours whatever you'd like for your Remnux, what have you. He disables the shared keyboard, which kind of makes sense. Sometimes malware likes to move things back and forth or use that as an exfiltration kind of thing. So, you know, removing the ability, because there's also some attacks that you can do that uses the VM. I don't think it was in VirtualBox, but I believe it was like a VMware where the clipboard could be used for that kind of thing, passing along bad shite. So he mentions, yeah, if you get an invalid settings detected on your Remnux, go up to your, yeah, and then set that to VMS VGA, or VMS VGA, so super VGA. Don't turn on remote display and all that stuff. Yeah, set your virtual sizes and what have you for this. There's not much in the way of, I don't mind turning on the shared clipboard for a moment just to copy paste stuff, right? You do the same by writing it to a text file and putting it in your shared folder, right? Yeah, yeah. So you're gonna pass things through this right here. So as you can see, I've already downloaded Paranoid Fish. I've already downloaded Disable Defender. VBox Cloak, and I've put those in there. Oh yeah, PA Fish 64. I want to say it's this one. I could be right. Yeah. So this is also Paranoid Fish or whatever. There we go. That's another one you might want to pull down as well. It's an executable for, you know. He goes and discusses some of that as well, but it's just a tool that you're going to need to download as well if you're going to go through some of this. So close that. There we go. Get back over here to this one. Yeah, guest editions. So hindrance. Okay. He doesn't click any boxes here, I don't believe. Audio's cool. So he leaves the network connection the way it is. Which is interesting because his Remnux version had some issues later on in the video, spoiler alert, with DNS not working. I didn't have these issues with my Remnux version. It just worked for me. So I don't know what happened, if it was maybe I didn't reset the adapter or what have you. With the Windows side, I turned off the NAT and all that, like, to begin with. I didn't want any kind of network connections going in and out. So maybe I missed something in the video here where he changed the MAC, which caused some kind of issues on that. Okay, so he sets up the folder path or the shared folders for where everything's located, which is what you see here. I called mine SF VBox shared. Just want to make sure you know what it is when you're going through that. And that it's auto mount, so when you reboot the box, it's automatically going to mount that, so it puts it into FS tab or does something on the back end to automatically make sure that that's a real thing. Don't set read only, because obviously you're going to be copying and pasting things back and forth from that. Yeah, so if you're analyzing something like ransomware, which we'll take a look at later, you may run the risk of encrypting accidentally, or exposing what you have in that shared folder to your malware. So we'll be careful with that. But I tend to use shared folders because they're just very easy to use. If you don't want to use shared folders, you can set up like a small, very simple FTP. You could also SSH if you really wanted to do that. You could probably. That would make it more of a one-way connection. Everything is pushed into the malware sandbox instead of, and then, if you want to take the chance where you can, make the connection to the box, you can SCP something out of the local box to your box. It's as paranoid as you want to get, right? Thank you, Zeta Bro 33. Appreciate you. thank you for the follow. Thank you for coming in, hanging out while we build ourselves a malware box. So yeah, you can see the box is set up. He's going to install guest additions, which is going to allow for things like more easily, sizing your window, and there's some other things you get there. So yeah, he's using 718 there. So okay, let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit through this. So he didn't have to restart for that, but there's going to be a point. Yeah, so he couldn't, display the contents of SF shared. I also had to go in and set myself to, sudo add user remnux, and then add myself to vbox sf so that I could view the contents. I did have to reboot the box, like he said, to get it to work. There's probably, I'm not sure, but yeah, rebooting it made it work. It probably some kind of hook or something that didn't get applied, so you have to restart it. It's fine. All right, so yeah, he said restart. You can see the files that you're looking for. You can set it as a bookmark, or you can set it, like a quick access kind of thing. And when you're in Windows, you're going to do the same thing. Honestly, we're just, gonna have it pinged there. Internet access. So I didn't have an issue with the, Remnux upgrade is what I ran, as I showed you earlier. It does take a long time if you're gonna do the upgrade, because it upgrades all the tools. So it'd be like, well, when you run Kali Linux and you go sudo update, and it's like now downloading 4 terabytes of updates, or every video game you've ever played where there's new DLC every time, right? Oh, here's a new 4 terabyte download that you're going to have to spend and wait time on, or what have you. So, yeah, there's it's going to update. We'll just update the existing tools, upgrades all the tools to like newer versions or what have you. It's not going to install anything new. So maybe I did pooch myself by running upgrade, and it ran and installed everything under the sun. Because as you see, his version is 2022, and I'm running 2024. So the upgrade actually, I don't know, maybe it upgraded all of our stuff. Oh, that's right, he had DNS issues. That's right. So he went through and had to set up some DNS stuff. I don't know why his had the issue. I did not. So I'm glad for that, because it's been a minute since I've used IP. I'm from the IF config, old school college. So IF IP config or whatever to set up my my network settings. Sudo apt install nettools is what I end up having to do on a lot of boxes, because I haven't not learned to do that. So, so yeah, you're going to go into netcfg and change some of your networking configs and things like that. There was probably, it probably had something to do with network interface not mapping properly. Yeah, like ENPOS, weird. It's P0 actually, but so yeah, you want to change your Ethernet connections. So it looked like there may have been some issues with that. And you need to add a name server, so you add whatever name servers you want, 1.1.1.1. If you're on Spectrum or Cox, it'll be like 75, 75, 75, 75, 76, 76, 76, 76, 8888 for Google, etc. And then, once you do that, everything works. You have to enable the new net plan applies, setting the new network configs, I assume. So we're going to ns lookup Google. Everything seems to have worked at that point. Oh, wait, there we go. Google.com. Okay, so everything's good. DNS works now. He can run his upgrades. Everything's all well, apparently, seemingly. And there it goes. Okay, so he's running through all of his updates too. His is going to take a little bit. So his is running in the background. We're going to pull over some of the tooling he staged up for our Remnux machine. Oh, okay, so he's got a few things. He's got a few things here. Staging for additional tools already packed into Remnux that I wanted to bring over. One of those is bytecode viewer, which we'll get into a little bit later. Okay, bytecode viewer. Java decompilation tool. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then all right, so let's pause it there and let me go. Looks like I'm going to need to go to Remnux and download some things. Distro, containers, people. There's going to be. I don't want that. Easy digital. Easy. It's PG-13 around here. You can't fucking say words and things like that. Let's see, containers, details. I need some plugins. Where's my plugins at? Plugins. Oh, that's interesting. There's nothing there. Yeah, install from scratch, add to existing system, run Remnux as a container. So yeah, again, not the only way, but if like, hey, I can run everything in Docker, have at it. Just remember, you're also responsible for making sure all your containers are properly isolated. And now you've got Docker and God knows what else that you're going to have to deal with there. Keeping the distro up to date, Debian packages, apt package base, yes, yes, yes. Discover tools. Okay, so we've got various tools you can go and poke around and look at. Oh, thanks, thank you, Jeff of All Trades. 6 months in a row. Oh, fantastic. I just subscribed to Jeff on YouTube as well. So let me see. Java, was it bytecode analyzer? What was it? I guess I should just do bytecode analyze. Bytecode. No, not Java assist. Okay. JDK Procyon. So there's some tools you'll need to download. Go back through his video where he downloaded these things. Chrome standalone setup. Chrome standalone. Oh, okay. And you can download some of these items. Bytecodeviewer.jar. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, either you're going to pull them from here, you'll pull them from, at least that's what I think you're looking at. Yeah, bytecode viewer, yeah. I was working on sub, missed. That's okay. Yeah, bytecode viewer. I don't know if this is the exact one or if you can download it off of their site here, bytecode viewer. But, you know, here's a link to the GitHub where it's located, or where a bytecode viewer is located. Don't know if it's the same one. PA fish. Ah, okay. So yeah. So bytecode viewer, and then you know you've got all these other ones that are coming up too. Parse hashes. Distro. Oh, there it is. Parse hashes. Yep. Hash parser. Assuming this is the hash parser. Interesting. Yeah, so there's a ton of things. There's IDA-free. We should already have Python downloaded, but you may need to download that. That's exe. So looks like we're gonna run that on Windows. System Informer. Let me see what else we've got. VBS Edit. The good old Wireshark. Of course, you see VBox Cloak. There's a couple of other PowerShell scripts, hostname changer, LibreOffice. Ugh. Okay. Oh, that's a matter of, yeah, anyway. Obviously, LibreOffice, is not Word, because you don't want to put Microsoft Office on there, because that brings its own, pile of fail to the party. And then 7-zip, that's 7-zip right there. So you'll be downloading 7-zip at some point to pull those in. So let's just keep going through here and letting it run. He's got, yeah, there we go. Basically parse any file, yeah, parse hashes.sh. I think that's it right here. Nope, that's a py file. Oh, okay. So let me see, parse hashes.sh. Okay, let me see, where is intro music? I don't have any music on right now. Crack me challenge, challenge instructions. Let's see here. Tools and resources. There we go. Okay, so I know I should have gone here earlier. So you've got your LibreOffice. This is going to be the list of things where you're going to have to download a lot of things and put them in your shared folder, which that's on me. I should have done ahead of time. Let me see, where's my shared folder? It's in VirtualBox. There it is. All right, save. That's not the one I need. Close that. Tutorials. Oh, in the main directory. Haha. Oh. Parse hashes.sh. Oh, okay. No, that's not what I wanted. Nope. Anyway, yeah, we'll get to it eventually. Oh, that's what I did. Okay, go back. There we go. Rat King parser. I saw that one as well. I'm going to have to grab that at some point. So let's go ahead and grab that. Yes, exactly. Digital word. Wireshark. So yeah, you've got a good example of everything that he's talking about in here. Let me see. You may have to actually run git and pull those things down to get some of these things. Bytecode viewer, there we go. Grab that one. And we will grab the jar file for that, which is also here. Save. All right. Back that mother up. And a 7-zip, of course. We need these MSI, so we'll do that. Hostname changer, PA fish, right? Additional resources. Parse hat, okay. Oh, it's in the tutorial blob, okay. In the master none classes, I see, okay. There it is, okay. You can pull that down, just download the raw file there, parsehashes.sf. Oh, it's in the main folder. That's what he said. That's what he meant by it's in the main folder, my bad. Okay. So now that we can go at CD media, VBox, oh, SF. And then, yeah, we can go to, there we go. And we're gonna open with the text editor. Oof, well, that sucks. That's god awful, isn't it? Nope. Nope, it opens that up. Okay, so you can see what he's got here, where it's going to run. He says, and it's very simple, straightforward script. If you're familiar with Bash, you got base file, base names, MD5 sums. Show you an example run here. We're going to calculate the MD5 hash, SHA-1 hash, SHA-256. Because depending on where you get like different file names, different hashes. Sometimes they don't use a SHA-256 because they don't need to. Shallow detection of binaries and other files. Shallow meaning that hashes can change. If you change any byte of a file, any piece of a file, the hash will change. And so it doesn't take much for attackers to change their file. Right, you just add white space at the end and rehash it, and it's completely different in that case. Yeah, or you can just add innocuous stuff if you want to evade detection. Other analysts who are hiding the MD5, SHA-256, different algorithms. It's a bit fuzzy, right? Okay, let's see. You can use it to hunt for very similar looking files, but not exact matches, right? Yeah, so if you're looking for specific strings, for instance, like if you're looking for it to say this remark in the file, they can do a lot of changes to the file, and SSDeep will allow you to look for specific string parts or specific things that look very, very similar. You might get a different version of the malware than what you're used to as well. So we use the script to test that out. So yeah, PE file is another one. Yeah, parse hashes. Okay, so we're gonna move parse hashes and what else? For a Windows machine, there's one of the last things, Rat King parser. Yeah, we're gonna need that one. So this is, I think, the second, or no, this is episode 2. Yeah, so, okay, let me pause that. I need to go grab Rat King parser. Dunk. Oh, yeah, it's a Kali tool, yeah. Very cool, okay. While I'm grabbing Rat King parser, we do have our friend Fernando, who's going to be here this weekend, talking about analyst tools and analyst reports. So if you've ever wondered why the Gartners and the Forresters of the world do their things, you will be able to now potentially ask that question. So looks like I'm going to have to pull this down as a, can I grab that as a download zip? There we go. Yep, VBox share, there we go. Excellent, thank God. Didn't want to have to try to deal with Git at the same time. So there it is, Rat King parser. Okay, so we've got Rat King. Grab that, copy, home folder, paste, there we go. So yeah, put Rat King parser in there. I will unzip Rat King parser. There we go, make that a lot easier. And he's going to, later in one of our analyses, trials, we need, what are we looking for now? What are we, a Rat King parser, yeah. So yeah, it literally took, I don't know, 15 minutes for me to update mine as well. So I completely understand why we're doing some stuff in tandem, start to finish, finish to start. We're gonna pull over executables like Chrome to downloads. Okay, so Chrome standalone. We need to grab the Chrome standalone. Dang. Okay, so I've got a lot of links here. I got a lot of tabs open, which I don't enjoy, so I'm going to close some. Where's the Chrome standalone? There it is. Chrome standalone installer download new. I don't wish to help Google Chrome usage statistics, you filthy, filthy bastards. All right, there we go. Got that one. It'll be good to test to see if we have the right modules installed. So let's run parse hashes. Okay, so we're gonna halt on that one. So all right, so there's Chrome standalone. So what we'll do is we'll run parse hashes. And then you can actually run it here too. So you can see it pull all the stuff down. As you can see, his version is slightly different than mine, as is supposed to happen. Yeah, digital. I seriously, every Monday I just shut my browsers on my work machine down because invariably I'll have 25 to 30 tabs, and I can't deal with a ton of tabs. And so I start with a clean slate, which, you know, for some of you folks are like, oh, I've got 4,000 tabs open. Okay, I don't know why, but you know, you do you, but I can't do that. So. So as you can see, he has one version when he did this, and you know, they're probably putting out, you know, new updates every day for the Chrome standalone stuff. So my version may not ever match his version, or if I was awake at 3 in the morning and we both downloaded it at the same time, then in fact, yes, we probably would have the same checksum if we had the exact same build. You know, depending on whatever changes could have happened, it could be completely different. But anyway, so there you go. All right, so. I didn't get the fancy red thing at the end there, so that's interesting. Vim parse hashes, right? Oops. You are a rat bastard. There we go. So Vim parse hashes. I don't know why the hell I can't say that. Maybe it's the version I have. I don't know. So yeah, you can see, let me see, the Python. So yeah, even this version of parse hashes, oh my God, I can't say it. I don't know why, is different, which is interesting. Maybe I don't have SSDeep installed, so maybe that's why I can't see sudo apt install SSDeep. No, it's got the version on there. SSDeep comes back in red for some reason. It's default behavior. Okay, I didn't have SSDeep even as output, so I was like, well, why don't I have cool red text? But I don't have it. So, but yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna continue going through. Executable doesn't have any imports. It could be the case the PE file's not installed. Not having a verbose error message, didn't work on a regular executable. We'll probably need to install PE file module. So to do that, we need to run Python pip install PE file. All right, so Python pip. I found out that you know, if you're using Python at work or you have Python installed or something like that, did you? Okay, so see now. See, okay, so I'm building the cake right along with the chef at this point. Oh, that's why the impish is not printing. You may need to install PE file for Python. Yeah, okay. Python 3. I bet you're right. Nope. Defaulting to user installation. Already satisfied. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit that. Python 3. See, I don't want to say Windows is smart enough to realize that, but oh no, it's already been satisfied. Defaulting to user installation because normal state is not writable. Requirement already satisfied PE file. Okay. Usually Python just becomes whatever version's installed on the box. You know, or you can do something like ln-sf, you know, Python, user bin Python to user bin Python 3 or something like that. Oh, I see what I've done. I've left out a very important piece of this script, which is actually getting the proper Python version. All right, sorry, I just realized when I must have had a copy paste error. Finish up, you left out a very important piece, which was determining which Python command to run. So Python 3, Python, okay. We need to pass the code right here, get the import instance down. I did actually try and discovered, so the other thing that was wrong. So let's try this again. Okay. Okay, all right. Got the hash right there. Okay, so I got the EE part. Oh, okay, so I have the SSD version, but mine doesn't show in red. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why mine didn't turn red. It happens, but they're very similar, as you can see. B, C, 5, G, P. You know, I mean, it's much the same all the way to A, I, X, Y. Oh no, well, there's one bit that's off there on that one. So, and then it has oobly, blah blah blah. Yeah, see this gets different a lot quick. So. Yeah, that was really weird. Mine doesn't show up in red in default, so, but yeah, I didn't have that, so. So far, so good. See, this is how I think. It didn't turn red, so I've done something wrong. See, that's how it works with me. All right, so we got Rat King parser. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna Rat King parse things, so. All right, so we're gonna go Python 3, pip, install r requirements.txt. Okay, so we'll back it up a second here. All right, so I need Python 3, pip, install r requirements.txt. Yes. Yeah, I know, right? I just learned about time blindness today before we went on the show. I did not realize that, you know, some folks who are neurodivergent, you know, have trouble with time. I'm just quite the opposite from, I don't know if the military beat into me the fact that, you know, I've done something wrong by being late, but as being newly ADHD diagnosed, I'm chronically early for meetings. And I, you know, to the point where people are like, wow, you just must not have anything to do if you can just join a meeting on time. And I was like, well, one, you're an asshole for saying that. Well, I don't say it out loud, but I think it. And then it's two, it's like, no, I value people's time and I want to be considerate of them. Thank you, Mr. Late Person. So yeah, it is what it is. So, all right, so we're gonna clear and then go Python 3 Rat King parser. Okay. /h. Okay, so I should be able to go Python 3 rat king parser.py as well. Okay, so I got the same problem, file paths. Sweet. I was in the Navy at one time. Your answer will determine how much longer. I was in the Navy. I was a weather observer in the military, the Navy, because I taught myself batch programming. I never spent a lot of time on the ship. My instructor sent me to Cushy, Monterey, California for my first duty station. I was not the top person in the class. A lot of people who were higher up in the class than me actually went to ships. So I have 2 weeks of sea time in 7 years of military experience. So Diego Garcia being where it was counts as, you know, sea time, and the recruiter took pity on me and sent me back to San Diego after a year and 4 months. So that's my military career. Very, very much civilian, working in N6 or G6 or whatever they call it in the Space Force and Air Force. No, it's all good. We have our friendly camaraderie between the services. after videos published, you can go check out the GitHub repo, right? Go check out the GitHub repo, which is right here. It gets you all of the codes and all, or it was right here. I put it in the chat, so you can go and grab it. Yeah, all these tutorials and stuff are in there. Let me back that up, back that thing up. All right, so I'm gonna go watch the networking if you're truly interested. All right, we'll upgrade continues. Yes, it's chugging in the background. Our iNet simulator. Okay, so we're gonna do inetsim.conf. Okay, let me double check that. You son of a bitch. One of these days I'll get it right. Sudo vim, etc, inetsim. Yeah. And then inetsim.conf. Hey John Wick, how you doing? I have the highest. Oh, really? You have the highest resolution pixels on? The video words still look unclear. I'm broadcasting this thing at 2K resolution. If it's blurry on the YouTube, you might want to try over on the Twitch. I don't think you have to have an account to join a Twitch stream, but you can give that a shot. If anybody else is having issues with the captioning, please let me know. I will try to make it a little bigger. I'm sharing a screen now between a browser and a VM, so I'm trying to be cognizant of being able to see both on the screen at the same time. We're going to fake our network. So inetsim is about faking network because, as he mentioned earlier in the stream, the Windows box is going to run all the malware. The malware needs a world to go talk to, and in this case, Remnux is going to accommodate by being all the things that it can talk to. So it's going, and you're going to use things like Wireshark, but you're also going to need something to go, hey, yeah, I need to talk to an HTTP server. And then Remnux is going to be like, I'm that HTTP server. I'm all the HTTP servers you know of in your internet. So if you increase terminal font size, on my own, okay, I can do that. I can fix it. Yeah, I thought I had it on Geezer font earlier, but yeah, it is what it is. Preferences. Global, general, see, profile, shortcuts, Remnux, there we go. Bump this mother to 26-point font. Is that any better? Yes, I had to remind myself to zoom. Yeah, I bumped it from 12 to 20 and now I'm up to 26. So hopefully that's a little better. Cool, hey Wade, what's up? Man, I got everybody coming out the woodwork today, Jesus. I would hate to look and see how many actual viewers I've got and lurkers, because yeah, I have no clue. All right, so suite called FakeNet. That's what Flare uses as well. I prefer once you configure, get all the different options. Let's go through this right now. So yeah, first you'll see several different network protocols. So DNS, DHCP, IRC. So yeah, you're becoming its world, right? Remnux has become the world that it knows. So I'm going to go in and X out all of the, get rid of all my comments here. There we go. Yeah, there is probably a pretty cool shortcut to do that in Vim. Unfortunately, I don't know it either, so I just use my X. So completely skipping out and angering many people. Nah, it's cool. We're going to change the bind address, okay, to what the whole, to 10.10.10.3. Okay, we will do that. And so you can put that right over there. You press the R and you hit 3 and it changes it. R is replace. This Vim tutorial brought to you by so we're going through static machine later on, not quite yet. I'm still using the internet access that I have on this machine, but later on we'll assign an IP of 10.10.10.3. We're going to see the IP used a lot. I'm going to uncomment this DNS IP, 10.10.10.3. So we're going to run DNS services potentially on this as well. And, we can... where where's the DNS at? Did I miss it? So yeah, there's a lot of options in here. There it is, DNS bind port, services. Let me, there we go. And then, I didn't do that right. I can't type for shit. Okay. Well, I just unfucked that up, didn't I? There we go. Forgot you can hit N to go like next or latest one. So yeah, hitting bottom, continuing at top. Yeah, so. All right, so bind port, and then I8443. Hit your escape to make sure you keep yourself out of trouble. We're going to bind port 8443. Why we're doing this? Yes, netsim. Wait. iNetSim supports HTTPS. It uses a single certificate and does not generate certs on the fly. This causes issues if the cert does not match the domain of the malware we're looking for. Burp does generate certs on the fly, how matching whatever domain is requested. We'll use Burp as a go-between for well, yeah, we should use Burp for go-between HTTPS traffic, right? So we'll use Burp as our interception proxy and be able to do things like look at the requests as they're coming and going through the system. So at some point we will be setting up CA certs inside of Burp and generating all the things with Jeff's help. Fake files. Oh. Any kind of request comes in from Windows victim machine to this Linux box acting as a router, fake router, or fake internet. It's going to return a fake file back. Oh, very cool. Okay. Right. So you get a bunch of built-in sample files. That's pretty sweet. Sample JPEG, sample GIF. Okay. And I'm imagining this is extensible. So if anything, like if it's looking for a jar file, you could say, I want it to deliver this jar file, right? This harmless jar file in this case. So here's where the fake files are located in iNetSim. So there's a ton of them there. You could probably specialize them if you were looking for it to look for joebobbilly.png, then you can create a PNG file called joebobbilly and it will automatically look for that as well. So known bad pages, pages running malware. Your Windows victim machine by default is going to send a very simple HTML or text file back that simply says, if we open it up, this is the default text file, right? This is a plain text file. Honestly, for a lot of malware samples, the content of that page is not going to matter, especially if it's just sending data back to its home, where this is really where it comes into play if you're trying to download a second stage or plugins or something like that and need to continue running. So if you replace one of these files with whatever it's looking for, long and short is it, yeah. So you're going to supply it with what it's looking for, especially if it's trying to, beacon out to a C2 or something. Remnux is going to intercept that and go, here's the file you need. Because I am who you were looking for. I'm who you're looking for. This is not the C2 you're looking for. Yes. Okay, so now we're going into some more advanced stuff here. Glossed over if the MAC addresses. Look at other families. It may sound weird. Some malware families look at the MAC of your virtual machine to see if it matches the kind of defaults. Yeah. The Windows stuff later on when he's talking about VBox, decloak, and stuff like that. Yeah, some of the MAC addresses come off kind of weird. So I think, yeah, fine leaving this was any case. I believe this is one of the ones where he was like, oh, it still shows up as like a manufactured or fake IP address or a MAC address. So I believe you can make whatever MAC address you want here. So let me go into settings, network, advanced, and you can keep clicking this, and I think you have to shut the machine down to change the MAC address as well. But you can keep going, yeah, you can make it whatever you want. And ideally, you know, for what MAC address lists. Yeah, so you can go in here. There's a GitHub with various, you know, and sundry MAC address lists. Yeah, MAC address lookup, DNS checker. You can search for different MAC addresses, and it will tell you. There is like a huge list of these things, and you can just go, okay, I want this to look like a Mac or an Intel IP or a Broadcom, you know, vendor list or something like that. I used to have this list. It was a bookmark I had up until. So yeah, here you can, you know, look at these. So yeah, if you wanted to make this a 4-access communications, you could say 013CF and then whatever 3-digit hexadecimal code you want to use on this. So I'll just put this here in case people want to have that. There we go. It's okay, John Wick. I'm geezer font too. I'm of a certain age. I don't know if you've noticed I got a little bit of blonde highlights in my hair here. So, but yeah, so I think if you want to change the MAC address, you're going to have to shut the machine down and do that thing. So I'm gonna close that off. We can always get back into this later. So what I'll do is I will go back in, because when he runs the cloaking script later on, one of the things it says is, hey, your MAC address is still fake as shit, and so spoiler alert. But he does mention that. So so I'll just go ahead and Alt P, and then I can go in and I can add this to my list of things. I actually have a Debian 12 box as well that I've got, you know, just kind of futz around with, and you can go into your network advanced, and then I can say 0013CF, 0013CF, 00, oh. Wow, okay, so it doesn't allow you to set your own. What a jackass. Oh, there you go. 0013CF 666666. There we go. Now, the other bad thing is I may get this started up and I won't have internet connectivity again, so we'll see what happens. See, let's while this is booting up here. The one thing I do like is it's like hella fast. People still say hello. I haven't used VM VirtualBox in a while. I do find that once you get your guest editions set up and running, auto resized guest display is a requirement. You want to click that and make sure that when you resize your screen, you still have your tab and stuff up here. Okay, cool. Thank you, John Wick. Appreciate the heads up there. So there we go. All right, so going back. Just FYI, the reason I brought up MAC address is you randomize this. You could even take a real MAC address from something. Or you can use that link right there that he has. I have that. I think I saw that list when I Googled it. That was very similar, but there's some additional bits there you can use if you wanna pick something that's a bit. One of my favorite No Starch Press incredible books about malware, Evasive Malware by Kyle Kuchi. Looks like deceptive and self-defending threats. Okay. This stream specifically is not sponsored by No Starch Press, but they do make some good books. They do make some very good books. Looks like well, if you had gotten in on the sale that ended on July 7th, you would have been able to get 40 or 30% off. But there you go. Let's fast forward a little bit here. Okay, I have Love So Far, can't get my hard copy. I'd probably buy the PDF of those. I was actually looking at like practical malware analysis or something. Couple tools in Windows machine. Change your MAC address to one of these legit ones if you need. There's a very long list, right? So internal network, okay. How are you changing that with the system running? Was I able to do that? I just failed to grok that I could do that. 1 sec. Matter of fact, I probably need to run ping google.com. Okay, so I still have network connectivity. Network advanced. Yeah, that was really weird. Can I back it up here? Names, internal network snare. Yeah, I can't change any of that. It's really weird. We no longer have an IP address. Our network interface doesn't know what to do. Our network adapter doesn't know what to do. So to configure our Remix machine to work on this virtual network, we're going to go back and edit our net plan config like so. We're going to make it easy. We go back to try and update this again. I'm going to comment out these lines. Okay. Because we can. I will comment those out and uncomment them when we're going to update our machine and take another snapshot for DHCP to know we're going to set up a static IP address like I alluded to earlier. Yeah, 10.10.10.3, right? /29, okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click cancel on that, and then we'll go. Let's back that up for a second. Okay, so sudo vim etc net plan. Okay. Sudo vi etc net plan. All right, so I didn't need to make any changes to my UI earlier, so I'll need to add some things and bits here. DHCP4, you hit O to get yourself a new line. Name servers, addresses. I'm just putting these in because, you know, I want it to kind of look the same for his and mine. This was in regard to when you had network settings pulled up. Oh, yeah. Oh, you need to change to internal network. Ah, that's what it is. Okay. At internal network. Ah, there we go. Okay. Right, okay. It called it snare, huh? Okay. Right on. I may need to close that and start over again just to make sure we've got everything we need. All right, network D. Okay, so I'm gonna go through, change DHCP, name servers and addresses all to comment out. Okay. There we go. All right, so yeah. Oh, okay, that's what I did. Okay. You are a rad bastard. I used Vim. I didn't say I liked it. Good Lord. Oh, I am the suck. There we go. There we go. Comment those. Yeah. And then we're going to have our own DHCP say no. DHCP4 no. Okay. You guys, damn. Whoa, what the hell? Okay, so, whoa. What did I do there? Okay, so a lot of things happened at once there, so. Okay, so internal network, we called it snare, right? Yeah. Then, okay, and then we edited, right? Okay. Addresses 10.10.10.3/29. Okay, so there we go. I can feel the hatred. He's using spaces. Dear God. And then 10.10.3/29. And the reason we're using a /29 is probably to reduce the amount of area in which our system is setting. It's not a 24, so it's not 256. So 29 is like what, like just a handful of systems, like 5 or 6. If my net masking is still correct. /32 is 1, so 32 would be 1. 31 would be 2. 30 is 4, so it's like 8. It's like 8 IPs, I believe. If I'm wrong, then I'll give back my non-existent, CCNA certification. So you can really set it to whatever you want. Since I typically only have 2 to 4 VMs, I don't usually need more than that. And that's fair. And ideally, you don't want to accidentally put something in 10.10.10.3 that your network that you are worried about, right? So, if you accidentally drop something legitimate into your malware network where you're analyzing malware, God knows what could happen. So, you can make it a /24, I guess, to Jeff's point. You can make it a 24, a 16, or an 8. I don't know why you would want to have, that amount of IP address range in your malware sandbox, but hey, you do you. But yeah. Okay, netmask, if you're not familiar with subnetting, yeah, there you go. He's going to hook us up with some subnetting. There you go. As you can tell, I skipped around a little bit in the video because I was like, oh, I need to set up the Windows box, so I need to kind of get to that point. So, 6. Okay, so it's not 8, it's 6. It was 8 minus 2, I guess, for the broadcast and the domain, or the gateway in the domain, broadcast. So yeah, 6 IP addresses. So I've got 2 in there right now, so really only have 4 addresses left that I can utilize there. So, oh my God, we are burning the time, ain't we? Gateway, okay, we have a gateway, and the gateway 4 would be 10.10.1.3, right? Because, okay, so gateway 4, and you have to specify gateway 4 because we're using IPv4, not IPv6. I'm assuming if you had an IPv6 only network, gateway 6, DHCP 6, etc., etc. Okay, so we are talk about snapshots in a moment, uncomment these 3 lines and comment these 3 lines. Okay, so we're going to comment 3 lines we just added because, or no, we're not going to comment those 3. Right, net plan apply. Okay, so all right, so we'll escape. Shift ZZ, because I'm old school like that. Sudo net plan apply IPA. And yes, there it is. 10.10.10.3.29, 10.10.10.7. Yeah. My IPv6 range is a little different because I added a bunch of 6s to my MAC address. Looks like it does take into account some MAC address portions there. Actually, it'll be different depending on whatever you decide to pick. So yeah, very cool. And I just realized you might have 17 on your video because you've got that many IP, VMs or something sitting there. So yeah, just make sure everything matches. So, impressive live subnetting, all the same. Yeah, I forgot to subtract 2 probably. So, back in my day, we didn't have this IPv6. We liked it. Clear. Doink. All right, so we are no, just kidding. We're going to snapshot. Okay, yeah, he wants to do a little bit of prep work to make it so that when we reload the snapshot in the future, we're kind of already set up to ready to go. Just let me put in Zoom, keep my file explorer open. Home directory is fine. I like to have it open in my snapshots. There we go. And then normally I would hit Shift E or what have you. You can set your snapshots up. this is all a matter of taste. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to make all fancy stuff. Just makes it a little easier for workflow potentially. And then you're gonna click machine, take El Snapo Chateau, and you can name it clean or you know, before the chaos. You know, sometimes the description is really good. You can say what you've done in there, like, you know, disabled, you know, set internal network, intnet, snare, 10.10.10.3, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just a matter of taste, I think. He says he's not going to snapshot his just yet. He wants to finish by configuring our burp suite. So you can do that. And then, you know, we don't have burp suite yet? Oh, okay. Sudo apt install open JDK 20 un JDK. Uh-oh. Oh, we have to. That's weird. Oh yeah, all my stuff's broke. All right, one sec. What's he doing? Okay, so wait, what happened there? Should work. Remember to apply and reset. Okay, so, damn it. All right, so we, yeah, obviously, temporary name failure because I'm on internet. So go back in and set nat. And then go in here. We're gonna have to probably didn't have to do all this, I'm imagining. God damn it. Just fuck. X. And then nerp. Name's okay. Okay. Addresses, that's not correct. Go ahead and dork that up a little bit. Yeah, I need to indent that one, yeah. Well, let's tempt fate, shall we? Let's see if it actually, you know. Nope, didn't like that. Okay. It doesn't like the, doesn't like those bits. Yep, check indentation, you're right. See, that when you read the instructions, you almost would want to make a separate YAML config here. So you can make 2 copies of this file and then just move them back and forth. Like if you wanted to not have to deal with all the editing here because you may hate VI with the intensity of 1,000 suns. Yeah, it needs to go under addresses. So, you just want to hurt me. Do you really want? Yeah. Okay. 8.8.8.8. Okay. And X. Yep. And so if you wanted to not pooch this, you, like I said, and you know, you can, and then you would go say, you know, write, you know, like you could, let's just not pooch it right now. So, okay, damn. God damn you. So you would go, CP01, oops, and then, 01 dot, net, and then, or update. So, and then you could just, sudo. There we go. So, when you're ready, you just switch one to the other and then run your apply, and then you wouldn't have to worry about indenting all that stuff and having to deal with, those kinds of things. So let's see if my original edits will actually work. Nerp. Okay, so I've pooched it at some point. It's not indented enough, maybe? All right, let me go back and, because I am the stink. There we go. All right, so I know in my file the addresses were indented under name servers. Oh. Linux doesn't give a shit about white space a lot, except in this case. Yeah, so. Yeah, this is, for somebody who may not know a ton about Linux networking, that renaming thing probably would be a great idea. There we go. All right, and then ding. All right. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't, so net plan apply, yes, okay, so you have your internet's back again, network settings, yep, okay, clear, burp suite. Oh, wait, what's this? Okay, thank you, pause first, thank you. Linkage error occurred. Loading main class burp. Burp suite's been compiled by a more recent version of Java runtime. Okay, so this is one of the things I need to download, I think probably, or need to update. So port swigar.net and products community edition. He may suggest this in the, don't put your email in there. They don't need your money or your sales leads. They just got like $130 million round of funding, so they're doing all right. They don't need your fat stacks of cash. No, I don't need that one. I need no. I need something else. I need a different version. Yes, I need a different version. Just give me the jar. Give me the jar. Okay, shared box. Burp suite. There we go. You have to update Java. I believe that bit's in the video. Yeah, okay. As a matter of fact, I didn't run Java. I didn't run updates here, so maybe I should run the updates. Oh, just sysdig. Oh. Okay, I know I've done something else here. May take a minute though. There may be a difference, like you run remnux update and then you may have to run some other stuff because now it's building kernel modules for God knows what. Everybody having a good time. Yeah, I thought I updated to 21 as well, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't do it right or something. I want to say yeah, I thought I ran that. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, so let me grab that. Thought remnux update would include apt step 2, but apparently not. Yeah, there was a few things. Actually, This is Ubuntu, so you could do a dist upgrade or what have you if you needed to do that too. All right, and then the Burpa Suite. Your JRE appears to be version 21.0.3 from Ubuntu. Burp has not been fully tested on this platform, and you may experience problems. Yeah, don't show this to me. Thank God it's using OpenJDK. I remember a time when you can only freaking use Oracle Java on this shit, and I was like, ugh. Okay, I understand. I may run into issues. Yeah, okay, I'll submit feedback, whatever, about performance, etc., etc. Okay, an update is available. Okay, well, I'll update now then. Go straight to downloads. Linux x64. You know, I'm not really hurting right now for an update for Java. Let's just let it go. All right, so we got that. You can install the jar if you want to. You can download the jar from Portswigger and grab that if you want bleeding edge. I'm pretty sure that unless there's some kind of major change between what I've got here and what I've downloaded, hopefully it won't be a problem. So, okay, sudo netsim. Okay, we're gonna run netsim too. Oh, I need to flip everything for my networking again. So, all right. So, yep. Okay, so I need to. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Here we go. Okay. X. And I think you said I needed to indent this anyway, so this is going to have to be like tabbed in. Okay. So if I did this right, let me go back and look at the other one. Dot. So if I did this right, now when I go and run the update command, I could just copy, update, move the files back and forth. That way, I have the one where and that saves a lot of heartache and pain. And then I just have to run the apply and do that. So, yeah. So now I've got 2 copies. But yeah, you'll have to change the dot update to this one. So you change this one first to dot like inet or dot snare, so that way you can keep track of that, and then once you're done you can unsnare it. You could probably even set up some kind of alias that'll automatically move those for you and run the apply thing. That way you can run your updates, and then you can run like flip it again, and then it will automatically you can do whatever in your own environment, whatever works for you and whatever makes you feel better so you don't screw something up. Because it brings up a tale of warning that when you ran upgrade, I believe it updated inetsim may have wiped out our configuration file. So 1 second, I'm going to do all the things I just did. Oh no! I don't know. Let me go double check. Oh, settings. Go back to internal network. And IP address is still good. Okay, and then while he's over there changing all of his IP tables, 1 sec. Okay, I probably need to go back and watch that again. So where's the apply bit? There it is. Inconsistencies, inconsistent indentation. Oh, okay. All right. Well. Inconsistent indentation. Okay. Something like that, maybe. Nah, that's cool. It's all good. So what am I doing wrong here? Name, servers, addresses. Gateway 4, inconsistent indentation. I don't know if it's a tabs versus, it could be, I don't know. I've noticed that you hate me and you like using tabs and not spaces. So Jeff, let me ask, am I supposed to use tabs or am I supposed to use spaces? Because I'm not a programmer, so I'm out of fucks to give. So if YAML requires spaces, then I'll just two space it and we'll call it good or whatever. You just have to stay consistent. I'm consistently inconsistent. So all right, so one tab. You know what? Let me go do this. Nope. Okay, let's not just. Nope. Can you back up in the vid where we first opened the file? I'm not on my keyboard. Okay. Let me see. Tools, parse hashes, inetsim. I think that's right about there, maybe. There we go. Okay, so yes. Okay, so we're gonna, okay. DHCP. Okay, so it's this here. Whoa, okay, things. Okay, so I think it's that right there. Okay, DHCP4, okay. Interesting. Okay, so according to that, I just need to be consistent with my indentations. So you had it. I think the last thing you had was you had it very similar to that right there. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me double check. No addresses and 10.10.3. Okay. So that did it. There you go. All right. Finger guns. All right. And so let me see. Where did we get to? We got to right here where you were saying you're going to have to go back in and change all those settings and Okay, so let me double check. Okay, so yeah, you're going to set up Burp Suite. Yeah, that's okay. So we've wiped out our configuration files. So let me hit this. All right, so we're back where we need to be. Let's make sure my network connection is correct. All right, snare, yes. All right, so and then sudo inetsim. Okay, so Okay, so I did something out of order. Apparently, I did all the upgrades and everything. You must have modified your iNet sim before you did your upgrades. Unlike me, I already did my upgrades, so I didn't run into the same issue where you had to go back in and reset everything. So you're going to go back in and you're going to rerun your iNet sim config file and uncomment things and what have you. Yep, I think that may have wiped out our configuration file. So 1 second, I'm going to go do all those things I just did in front of you again. Okay. Oh, there must have been a cut there where he's like, oh, I did all that stuff and then I didn't want to have to deal with that stuff. So that's what happened. All right. So accept all IPs. Okay. Which? Okay. Simulation running. Okay. Doink. Yep. Which accept all IPs. Okay, so I'm assuming next is we're gonna vim it up real sweetly. User local accept all IPs. Bin, okay, and then run a couple of IP table rules just to redirect any other kind of IP traffic to the default gateway of this IP. So this is a failsafe just in case any of the malware reaches out to other protocols. So yeah, it's almost like a Etsy hosts, but for services. Anything else will fire on these IP addresses. Anything will run on these IP addresses, 17, 19, 65, 465, 995. But if 31.337 pops up, and that's not explicitly called here, there's going to be something that's going to have to route it to devnull or to someplace. So we're going to accept all IPs, start. And it says start Ian. Okay, so it's based on the IP tables will accept and redirect. Oop, what's that say? IP tables will accept and redirect connections on all IPs to that interface. Remember to set the client system's default proxy gateway to IP of this Remnix host, which we did. 10.10.3.7. All right, so sudo accept all IPs, start, and then our IPA. There we go. ENPOS3. ENPOS3. ENP0S3. That way. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, I'm just showing what it does, not doing anything with it. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we're still working on the Linux side here. Depending on how much more time we have or need, we may go through the Windows side later at some point. As we set out, we can use the defaults for now. We're really just using one comparison to all features that Burp has. One special piece of its function is going to be under proxy. All right, so let me go ahead and start up my burps. Sweet. The good thing about, for those of you watching this and have never used Burp before, the community edition does, I would say, better than 90% of, I would have said closer to 95% back before all the modules and everything were added, because there are some modules that you got to pay for Burp Suite to get, but some enterprising individuals have also said, yeah, you shouldn't have to pay for that shit, for a bit of code. So you will potentially find free analogs of the paid marketplace plugins. You got to do a little bit of searching. At least that's been my experience. I could be wrong. Other folks may. Your mileage may vary. Some assembly may apply. Hit next and hit Burp Suites, and we're going to go in. He's looking at the proxy. We're going to change the proxy to all interfaces. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I need to halt. All right. So we're under proxy, intercept, proxy settings, right? Back it up here, see what specifically you're doing. Edit, okay, edit all interfaces. Oops, click edit all interfaces. Request handling. Redirect to presumably 10.10. 10.10.10.3. Redirect to port, and that would be 8080 in this case. So everything gets routed to 808080 or 8080, 8080. Click OK. It's going to say, are you sure? Yes, obviously. Failed to start proxy on 8080. Does that happen to you too? Yes, excellent. I mean, not excellent, but I mean, you know, I'm glad you also ran into the same error, so I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just doing what I'm told. That's going to allow us to start looking at HTTP traffic on Remnux using INetSim, so we get to explore that. As we're leaving that open, we can access our certificate on our Windows machine. One more important thing we want to do is bind this to port 443 on all interfaces redirected to 10.10.10.3, 8443. Bind to port. Did you say 8440? No, not 43. Okay, so we need to go to close and go to, add a new proxy listener. There it is. Add a new proxy listener, binding 443. Well, this was more of a problem than mistake. That's okay. Our mistakes, exactly. All interfaces, redirect to host. Okay, so all interfaces, request handling, 10.10.10.3. I'm assuming we're going to go to 8443. Okay, 8443. And I don't think an extra 4 there. I don't think we do what I want. Invisible proxying, and then that should be it. We have to change on here again. This is to be set up burp as kind of well of a proxy between us and INetSim, such that we can now intercept HTTPS traffic and decrypt it in INetSim. You can also use another built-in tool called Polar Proxy if you want to look into that. This has always been super easy for me. Yeah, I agree. There's other ones, like if you really wanted to do like Zap or Fiddler or something like that, but you're on a Linux box. Burp has kind of just always worked. It's going to be the one you're going to see most all. It's the Vim of things. Did you get that? Did you get that error message? Okay. It's really weird. Okay, it says invalid configuration. Did I do something wrong? Let me see. Are you sure you want to listen on all interfaces? This will enable other network users to use the proxy. What did I do wrong there? Okay. And yes, all the proxies. Failed to start on the proxy. Oh, did I must not have clicked invisible. Yes, support invisible. There we go. No. Okay, wait. Okay, slow down, bro. Slow down, bro. Okay, what did I do wrong? Support HTTP2. Support invisible proxying. TLS protocols, 443. Binding all interfaces. Request handling, 84. Oh, there's a space there. That's probably, yeah, that's what it was. Again, it doesn't like spaces, y'all. Failed to start on the proxy. Okay, so I had a space after 8443. That was my bad. Okay, so you want to listen on interfaces? Yes. Yeah, or it's a space. Yeah. Okay, said try again. Okay, so you're starting up a new, whoa, okay. Reset my snapshot because we're finally ready with all the configuration. Oh, okay. Now we're taking a snapshot. Now we'll take our snapshots. Okay, so now we take another snapshot. I'm going to call it clean. Of course, I plan on going back and rebuilding my Remnux box so that way I can make sure everything is all proper. Again, make sure you're, says clean. We got all ready to go right up in our window, so I'm going to make a new snapshot called clean and save it. You'll see a progress bar pop up. Indeed. Only took 2 hours. Yes, exactly. That means the next time it'll only, you know. See, I would have done all this other pre-stuff ahead of time. I thought, oh, you know, it's okay. There's some tooling and stuff that we're going to have to do as well. So nice little use case for us to delete and test and create new clean snapshots. We're going to Bob Ross it. Happen. We can leave remnux alone and power off this box. Okay, so we're at the Windows box now. So file, pause, or we can close it too, but shut down. Yeah, I will say it's really nice to watch you go through live, so you can get user experience testing. You know, especially for those that haven't done this for a while or ever, is interesting. I mean, I've seen some really complicated malware setups for these things. Or here's how to install Cuckoo, and it's like, oh, okay, this is going to take a really long time. There's like 4 or 5 different systems. So Windows VM, this is where if you're doing all that other stuff, you could have let it run automatically. Just to give you an example here, we're gonna speed through. You're gonna download, go to Windows 10. You're gonna download the installation media. You're gonna run the exe there. It's gonna run on your Windows box. You're going to need a Windows box unless you actually know how to pull a Windows ISO. You're going to call it Open Windows. I call mine polluted because it's about to get super polluted. You can call it whatever you want, right? Windows.iso, right? Now, okay, so one thing that I watched this part and came back to, I don't like unattended installation, so I immediately click skip unattended installation. Jeff in the original walkthrough had did not skip it and went ahead and did this. VBox user, you can set your own username and everything on this. If you don't have a product key in unattended installation, it should you have to supply a product key unless you do what he does here, but there's going to be a ton of other stuff that he's going to be doing here. What you see is he creates a username and a password, no product key because he doesn't have one, and you don't have to have one to run Windows 10. It just gets really annoying, and like he says in the video, it runs for about an hour and then will die. And so if you're analyzing malware that takes longer than an hour, you might want to get a key. Now for me, if you don't have a Windows 10 key, one thing you can do is go down to like Goodwill or Salvation Army if they've got computers or something. Sometimes they'll have the chassis keys. I have on my old Windows 10 box over there that I have a Windows OEM key that I used, and I've actually registered my Windows 10 box. An easy way to get a cheap key, or if you know a Microsoft employee, they'll get you a Windows 10 or Windows 11 key for somewhat cheaper. But there's options there if and like he said, you can in the video you can make snapshots for an hour or do something that will reduce that. But yeah, so I got that product key error too when I first went through this, and I was like, oh wait, okay, I'm not going to do a attended installation, and so you can go through, and he there were some additional bits that had to be done. Yeah, so he went into the unattended file, and you can cut out the product key area, the dashes. It doesn't like the dashes, so you clear that out, and it will bypass that portion. Are we having dinner? Are we ready for dinner? I'm streaming, so I was, I'm being fairly conversational. Okay. But yeah, it'll ask you if you do unattended installation. It'll go through all this. There's some other things like you set up the keyboard and all this stuff. I forget how much more work was being done on Windows 10 than 11 when you're doing the install there. So and then it'll ask you for I don't have a key. Okay, so you can click that. But just like he showed here, it was like at some point it'll say, oh yeah, you don't have a key, and it'll bypass that. So. Okay, so he did a cut here. Yeah, so Install your guest editions. Of course, you know, he does mention that that's a little, you know, sacrilegious for some folks because it does, you know, you shouldn't need them, but, you know, it's always good to have those just in case. You can run that. You can also set up your share as well. Yeah, you're going to set up your share for your shared folder. So I'm starting up my VM for my Windows box. Yeah, he actually gave it a drive letter, which was a great idea too. Otherwise, you can just, you know, you can just pop it into, you know, you can just pop it in up here, and of course, you see all your your CV, your stuff in there. So, well, I mean, if you didn't know, so yeah, to Jeff's point, if you didn't know that config file existed or where that existed, you're just going to get pissed off when you don't have a product key anyway. Or I'm sure that if you did a proper Google search online, or you know, you were able to hack an AI, it will tell you a Windows 10 key. So yeah, I went through in the regedit. Let me see. In the registry editor, what was it under? Yes, weird. All right, so yeah, AU, you know, you set your note. That was weird. Keeps refreshing on the screen there. But yeah, you go into policies, Microsoft Windows, Windows Update AU, and then you set a special DWORD key for that, like it mentioned, DWORD 32-bit, and then you set no auto update, which he'll add here in a second. Alexa, yes, Alexa, read back the Windows 10 key that you have on your chassis. I can't do that, Dave. Yeah. So as you can see, he's going to run through and he's going to add his no update. So he did that. Yep, that should do the trick. One thing I automatically turned off, I did not hook this thing up to the network at all. The one thing I did on the unattended installation is it'll ask you for all of the, do you want to, you know, send back any telemetry or anything? I declined all of that stuff, not out of habit, but it's like, if the idea is we're not wanting it to send any additional requests, like if it's looking for Microsoft provisioning or if it's looking for, you know, telemetry.microsoft.com, I don't know enough about those things to know how many requests it's going to send or try to send through burp, but I would hate to have to keep hitting, you know, remove that or, you know, filter that traffic so that I'm not intercepting half a dozen, you know, provision.windows.com or telemetry.windows.com or whatever the fuck it is. Oh, let me back up for a second here. Okay, so he did that. Oh, disabling Defender. I didn't do that part. I didn't get to that part before we did this. So, wow, we're at 2 hours. Let me see, where are we at? We're about halfway through the video. Okay. Let me back it up here. Yeah, there's one thing I want to put out of the request of the audience. I had a lot of telemetry from Edge and Bing and lots of other BS. If anyone has a good script or anything to tamp that down. Yeah, you know, for Burp Suite, I think you can set like, I want you to intercept only certain things, but not these things. So there may be a list or something where you could say, hey, you know, disable those things. Yeah, I know it's a pain in the ass because you're having to do it per thing. So yeah, eventually, you know, if Burp had a way to output whatever that filter was, you'd be able to do that. So it is a pain in the ass. So after initial update, yeah, I did have to reboot to get everything to run for that. Paranoid Fish, yes, Paranoid Fish is the word. This app can't run on your PC. To find a version for your PC, check with the software publisher. Oh, yeah. Oh my. Interesting. It's probably because I used too new a version? Yeah, that would be why I used two. Is it the 64-bit version? Oh, you know what? I think, yeah, I bet it. Yeah, it is I downloaded the 64-bit version from the site. So let me pull this one down too. And I probably should get back to the video. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Oh, see, I was trying to double click on that, so that may be why it can't run on the system. Copy. One thing you'll find out about me is I have about 100 icons on my desktop. So, what in the hell is going on there? All right, there we go. That's really weird. That is really weird. Maybe it's just a bad download. It's got that weird Microsoft thing, so maybe it's a bad download. I don't know why it keeps refreshing the screen like that, though. All right, let me. We'll grab another copy just to see if maybe it was a bad download. Nope, both are 0 length. It's really weird. Save link as. Huh, I wonder why there's 0 length. Yeah, that'll definitely do it. I want to delete these 3 things. All right. Copy link. Oh. Okay, yeah, it doesn't like that. Yes, exception. Yes, that's probably why. Okay, so I just tried to download it with curl, and it did not download either. So there's definitely something amiss here. Huh. Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet I know why. I bet it is a, yeah, I'm betting that, yes, you're absolutely correct. Defender, Windows Defender is probably blocking it on my system here. Let me see. Allowed threats. Yeah, allow PA fish 64-bit. Yeah. Okay, let me go Edge. Maybe Edge will be like, I've noticed you tried to do this. Would you like to, copy link. Save as. Yeah, it was blocked as unsafe. Download it anyway. Are you sure you want to keep this? Yes. Are you sure you're sure? Oh, it says virus detected. What? Yeah, Microsoft Defender antivirus found threats. Get details. Yes. Are you sure you're sure? I'm part of the problem. Yeah. Look, I'm going to blow my own world up. Please let me do so. PNQ dubs in Q4. I am legit human person. Please let me in. you know what? I know what we're going to do. It could be. What I wanted to do is boot up the Remnux box and do it that way, but let's see here. Let me see, PA fish 64.exe. Boy, yeah. Even on WSL, it will not allow me to curl that and pull that down. That is interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might publish a script to handle the net plan config swapping and upload that to the repo. The 2-file solution works too. I'm just thinking, folks that aren't happy, if you do it a lot, I'm thinking in a sandbox, or if you're needing to make those changes, yeah, that would be interesting. The only other thing I would suggest is finding, you'd probably want to isolate that box out of the malware sandbox, so that if your malware is smart enough to maybe you've accidentally infected your Remnux box. I'm not saying you would, but from a user experience point of view, I could infect my Remnux box doing something stupid, and then now I've got an internet connection out. I don't know what that would do, but you might want to isolate it into its own network, and then figure out, if you want to be ultra paranoid, you'd connect to a hotspot or something and have a wireless internet or something like that. But all right, well, interesting. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. Okay, all right, sorry about that. So where should I go? Let me see, where's my... I can do this faster on the other browser. All right, so we will figure out how to get PA fish onto the box. Sign in. Sign in for this order. Easy order. For recent orders. Previous items. There we go. Small hand pizza. And pepperoni. Italian sandwich. Sorry, I am ordering dinner. So I want the pizza. I suck. Add items to cart. Okay, and okay, good. Medium 12-inch thin. 20 minutes. Continue checkout. Whoa, no. I'm gonna check that first. Would have been most unfortunate. Sorry, ordering dinner on a Friday night here, so. No, go to checkout. It's only what 4:45 p.m. here, so. Instructions, yes. Pay with credit card, yes. And it is delivery. Yes, delivery instructions. Okay, cool. Order. Guess we need to figure out how we're going to get that PA fish. Now, I guess if I had to, I could pull it down. Yeah, like, you know, let's go. All right, everything's ordered. Let's go ahead and do that. And I will power up the Remnux box, and then I will grab it that way and push it down into the, push it real good into the shared folder. Thank God I have, you know, 24 cores and it's an i9 and I have 80 gigs of RAM that I can futz around with and. Okay, so. Nope, as it should be. All right, network setup. Net. Okay, I was gonna say it shouldn't work. Actually, what I'm gonna do is sudo cp inet YAML etc netplan 01 YAML snare. And that's what I'll call that, snare. So then I can do this and go in reverse. And then, yep, as it should. Okay, that's fine. Because once I do this correctly this time, then I won't have to worry about it. DHCP4 is network D. It said expected mapping, check indentation, name servers. Okay. Okay. Nope. Line 9, 18N. Okay, name servers. Okay. Okay, so there must be a space there or something I'm missing. Yeah. Definitely doesn't like the yeah, there we go. It loves it some white space, I tell you. No, didn't like that either. The fuck? Under name servers, because reason. What? Under name servers. Oh, is it the space? Ah, the space in the, I see. Because reason, under name servers. Wait a minute, did I miss something? Under, I don't know. Sorry, I was typing this script and not looking. These being dented. Under name servers, because reason. What needs to be under name servers? Addresses needs to be indented. Okay, addresses needs to be under name servers. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so now everything's perfect. Now when I go back in, I will just rename this from update, back to, or the one that I'm using now will be, update, and the one that I just named is called snare. So now I'm good to go. All right, and so now all of that to fucking download PA Fish. So PA Fish, copy link, and this is where we will, you can use your shared folder, which you grab that here, go into shared folders, and new, there we go. Come on, man. There we go. All right, and then file, save as. Put that in saved folder. Links, God damn you. Links.txt, there we go. Okay, so now when we go to our Remnux episode, so complicated just to get stuff that mimics bad shit. Okay, there we go, links.txt. So you can keep your notepad here for taking notes or adding whatever you want to add there. You can use VS Code if you really want to get hardcore on it. Let's see what we got here. Addresses need to be indented. Good on you there. All right, so CD, media, SF, and then curl. Okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, maybe I just... Did it? Have I forgotten how to download something? I use a lot of YouTube. Yeah, I didn't do that wrong. Curl, whatever. Should have been able to download it, but it's not working right now. So, curl-o. Did you swap back to NAT? Yeah, I got network connectivity. So, this is the same thing that happened on my WSL connection. It wouldn't allow me to download it. There may actually be something up with, there's pa64.exe, but it's still 0 length. So, yeah, there's something going on there. So, well, let's see if we can continue on through. Let this run as administrator. So, PA Fish runs. This is, yeah. So, wait, there was some additional bits there. It feels like we've missed some things here. Okay, so staging, PA Fish 6. Okay, so you have PA Fish 64. Somehow you were able to, through your weirding ways, to pull that down. And then you run PA Fish. So PA Fish is going to do things like show you how all of your how your VM looks like a VM, I think, in this case, at least from a Windows point of view, or like it's a, so yeah, you're going to see, there you go. And yeah, so it goes through, it's going to check your timestamp counters, it's going to, yeah, see your hypervisor bit, so it's going to be able to say, okay, if I was malware and these were the checks that I was going to look for, yeah, that it's running in a sandbox, right? So I'm going to run a snapshot on them, or run a script that Kyle has that cloak a lot of this stuff. So the VB cloaker is going to be able to change and make changes to the system to make your system look like less of a sandbox. So yeah, this is where I was like, oh, I set my hard drive space on my Windows machine to be more than 60 gigs because one of the checks in here was to check and see if it was greater than or equal, or no, less than or equal to 60 gigs, and it actually came up as a traced thing. So I set my Windows VM to something a little bigger than that. So wait, you know what? If it is a, it's not a script. It's a, yeah, I can't just click on that. So, shite. Okay, so in this case, yeah, PA-Fish is going to go through and detect all of these things that it's going to find. So once you finally get PA-Fish on your box, you can go through and poke around and look at some of those things. And then VBox Cloak, which is a script that attempts to hide the virtual box-ish stuff. You run that, and it's going to give you the ability to change some of the items in your system to be less likely to be detected by, yeah, see, attempts to hide VirtualBox hypervisor from malware by modifying register keys, killing processes. So if it's looking for certain things, it's going to find them. Of course, most people these days that make this stuff, maybe they don't give a shit, or everything's in the cloud. So, if you have an EC2 instance, you can analyze malware on an EC2 instance if you're doing it safely. There are ways of, making it so that you're not dealing with those issues. Or sometimes they just don't give a shit, and it's not worth their time to make the malware where it can't be easily analyzed, or they'll add some obfuscation so that it makes it that much more difficult for you to, not impossible, but it just adds more time to the analysis. So he ran the cloaker to get around some of the stuff that's in there. See, as you can tell, it fixed some of the things and changed some of the other ones. So, changing a registry key, or changing a perf monitor, or changing, yeah, see, here's the one, check if your disk space is 60 gigs or greater. So, I don't know if it was checking to see if that existed, or if it was checking to see if the disk size was that, but there were still a few things there, but it depends on how in-depth you want to get. Some of those things will actually, not load, and then you'll have to figure out ways to fix those things after the fact. It really just depends on what malware you're analyzing, I would imagine. And so some of those things you may end up having to reinstall your Windows box to add new features or new things. So, but yeah, so this was the other one where you're gonna, remove certain threat and virus protection settings. So, tamper protection and all this stuff. You're gonna add an exclusion for your shared folder, because that might light off. it might light off some. The shit you put in your shared folder may show up as bad to Windows, even with Defender shut off. So the last thing you want is, say, PA-Fish to be scrubbed, because it's showing up as a bad thing. So the website for Defender also said it is possible to delete Defender. It is not an enable-disable solution. It can completely delete Defender and is not reversible, which is what you need if you're analyzing malware. You don't want it to not give you all of your IOCs. If it's going to block something, then that would require you to have to go through yet another thing. And Jeff, if I'm wrong here, please let me know. But if you don't want antivirus or EDR to block those things out of habit. If you have to assume that whatever's going to get infected is going to have the largest the most unsecure footprint. So it may give you IOCs that would have been blocked or non-existent in an EDR solution like Defender or CrowdStrike or your Carbon Blacks or what have you. So having all of the IOCs is best. So, but yeah. So he's uninstalled Defender at this point, and there's going to be some additional stuff. I love you all, but once my pizza gets here, I'm probably going to have to go. And normally I don't stream this long anyway, so this is actually a much longer stream for me than I normally do. But I hope everybody's getting something out of it. I actually don't know how many people are watching, so wow, that's more than what I normally have. So that's fantastic. So we're gonna go through some of the system settings and turn those off. Control guard. You're gonna get a bunch of error messages, UAC messages. Turn this off. Turn this off. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Yes. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turning off ASLR. That makes sense. Turn that off too. So turn off all the things, core isolation, and these are things you can do on your Windows box. It's easy, point and click. Linux, if you wanted to analyze malware in Linux, it's probably a little bit more to do, but yeah, there's a ton of stuff there. So you've basically punched a huge hole in the side of the firewall of your house by turning all these things off, and it's going to get scared and it's going to go huddle in a corner while it's waiting for the malware to be delivered. Maybe in the form of a pizza. I don't know, malware pizza. I don't know. But okay, so actually let me pause this machine because I can't download it anyway. So let's see, static IP addresses. So we're going to go in, we are going to set an IP address, a static IP address 10.10.10.4. 2. Dang. Well, I was one or the other. 248, yeah, your net mask for /29 is 248. Yep, there you go. As mentioned previously. So there you go, there's all your bits that you need to borrow and what have you. And then 10.10.10.3, because that's what you want. You want it pointing to your Remnux box. Remnux is God, Remnux owns all. You won't turn on Wins, but you'll turn on DNS. And I didn't know it was sending out traffic. So ideally you're going to turn on Remnux now because your Windows box is now like, please, I need to know my gateway is here. So you're going to go back in to your system and you're going to open up Windows Explorer. Yeah. Windows Edge 10.10.10.3, okay, and then port 8080, and then it's going to give us something back because we're going to make a connection. Oh, okay, so we did have a burp suite issue, I think. 8080. Okay, so the port, okay, we're going to load our certificates into the browser through this. Yeah, there we go. Yep, my first clean snapshot. I have a little example program here that just makes a very simple fake HTTPS call. Let's see what happens when we run that. Let's first go to our Remnux machine. We need to get this working to figure out why it's not wanting to run. And then edit. Or try again. Okay. Sudo burp suite, okay. Hello IT, have you turned it on and off again? All that night, I made a script upload as net plan swap and then add that as an addendum to my YouTube video. Well, I appreciate that. That's just me. That's just my little picadillos or whatever. So yeah, the first thing I like to do is if I'm going to make changes like that, I always try to, I come from the land of the BKUP for my config files. So when I make a change, I always make a backup of the config file because I know if I clobber that, then I have a working good on the back end. So, or a known working good. It's just, additional bits. There you go. So let me back that up. Okay, so started inetsim. Okay, so went to google.com. Okay, so yeah, so it says, yeah, I went to google.com, and this is what google.com is now for me. Or no, I'm sorry, this is what google.com is for me, because the Windows box is stupid and doesn't know any better in that case. So report written to var. You had some error messages. Oh, it's an error. Oh, I see. Right, so that works. Okay, so 443, 8443. Over burp 44, restart inetsim so we can confirm it's running. Okay, so we have to add something in inetsim for 8443, not just 443. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, if you didn't have one there, yeah. Jeff, I see a lot of feedback videos for people, but it's usually they're giving people a fair bit of ranking or taking the piss. So I just like viewing these things to learn anyway. So so let me see. Restarting my Windows machine with the certificate. Now I'm looking at a netsim, and we can see there's a post. It's captured the data. Okay, so you're. All right, so got to go back into inetsim and add 8443 as a proxy, because I think you added a 443 and an 8443. So I'll have to go back and rewatch that section of it. Okay, so second proxy in Burp Suite, so I'm have a clean slate, as I'm going to rename it clean again, so I can delete and merge the old snapshots. And then go to VirtualBox. So you're deleting the original clean that had the messed up 443 proxy, and this is the better, cleaner version of this. All the cool tools we're going to install in this VM, so let's do that. Okay. Flare VM. We need should need our IP calculator at this point. Yeah, that makes sense. Anti-VM detection. You have to run outside of the VirtualBox. You're not running it on the VM. You're running it outside of the VM. On the host, you may have Linux use this one, but it's an option if you want to look into it. It's been around for years. Several people use it for anti-VM. Okay, all right. Wait. Okay, so this is NSM-foo. I think all of this is probably on. So NSM-foo anti-VM detection. That's github.com. Okay. Here we go. And there we go. And all these links are probably on Jeff's site, I would imagine. So if you're looking for those, you can grab those. Ghidra is another good one. So Jeff, you're actually installing analysis tools on the computer that will have malware on it. That seems interesting. I would imagine you would have put Ghidra on there, but I guess if you're gonna, I guess that makes sense. You're gonna, you're gonna explode the malware in the sandbox here, and then Ghidra is gonna capture that stuff. But how do you keep the malware from infecting Ghidra? How do you keep it from polluting the tools that you have? I mean, obviously, when you're done doing that, you're gonna go back to your clean install or what have you. But for me, it just feels kind of counterintuitive. It's like I'm gonna blow up my site with all my Ghidra and all my stuff in it, and then I have to hope that it doesn't do it again. But I guess with a clean slate, you're gonna do another snapshot here with Ghidra at some point that's gonna have all of your tools installed. Send to, create desktop. Am I running this at like 150%? Or is you just, okay, I was gonna say you're just really that fast. No, I'm running it at like 150% speed. So, Okay, so you've installed Ghidra, you're installing a new JDK, because this is the first real malware you're installing is JDK 17.0.10, so there you go. Python, malware maker's best friend, next to Rust and all those. 3.12, right. Something I found out at work is Windows 10, which is what I use at work still, actually has Chocolatey and Winget installed through PowerShell, and you can just kind of install whatever you want without having to deal with things, pesky things like admin rights and whatever. So installed Python. I installed HTTP which was something I wanted to play with there. Ghidra, there it is right there. So build public 1.11. That's cool. So if you notice, it is the 6th of July at 3:09 a.m. When do you sleep, Jeff? When do you sleep? I guess you sleep when the baby sleeps, but 3 a.m. was about the time that ours decided to start waking up and was like, I'm hungry, feed me. And then it was like, okay, it's your turn. And so I would be up bottle feeding. So 2:16 a.m. Oh my God, fix it. Well, yeah, but fix it. That's where you live. Thank you, Jeff's wife, for covering. Yeah. 3:10 a.m. So I've never actually used Ghidra before, so this will be new for me too. She's the Atlas holding up your YT channel. That's cool. Does she help with editing of sound or audio or anything? Hey, what do you use to edit your videos and stuff? Python has not been analyzed. Do you want to analyze it now? Okay, so Ghidra is going to go through and analyze all of your things to make sure they're... This is interesting. Okay, so I've never used Ghidra before, so this is going to be kind of new for me. So at this point, we're all just installing tools, right? Hey, Hacking. Hey, we're Hacking Live. Appreciate you for coming in, hanging out. Yeah, Adobe. Oh, CS6. Okay. So if I could give you, I'm not saying you should use this, but I've had a lot of good experience with DaVinci Resolve. It is a obscenely good free tool that is used in Hollywood. Obviously, these are scenes that are being used to render DaVinci Resolve. This is not an advertisement. They don't pay me for this. They don't sponsor me for this. But I've gotten rid of my digital audio workstation. I used Reaper before this. DaVinci Resolve just kind of works. And it's super free. The story behind it is amazing. They used to charge $10,000 to movie studios for it, and then Blackmagic bought them and were like, yeah, we're just going to give away for free. And the $350 license for studio is so worth it because you can use it on multiple machines, at least 2 machines. And it comes with things like audio transcription and whatever, but a lot of the stuff, and their community on Reddit is super active. So I lurk on there, and they're like, oh, hey, how can I do this, from this movie and stuff. So it's pretty badass. No, I understand. People like their workflows. They get used to them. I'm not saying, change it up, but if you find that your CS6 no longer works anymore, there's a lot of training out there for it too. So, but yeah, it's pretty badass. But anywho, so we're editing. I need to go back and just watch this for the Ghidra stuff alone, because I've never used Ghidra. I've heard about it. When it came out, everybody was like, oh my God, it's the NSA. They got a backdoor into all your things. And I was like, they already have a backdoor into all your things. They don't need Ghidra to do that. Yeah, I'll have to go and poke around on this. So I don't want to say, is there anything else, but let me go see. Let me see. I like your chapter bits. Okay, so we're going to install x64 debug, which is another good one. I used that in a little bit when I was trying to go through my OSCP stuff. Process Hacker's a good one. System Informer, yep. Process Monitor. Some of this stuff's in the sysinternals website as well. So yeah. Chrome, is this headless Chrome? Is this the Chrome standalone? Yeah, standalone Chrome, okay. The Wiresharks, of course, you've got all the Wiresharks. It's going to show you what data is running on your box and LibreOffice. Oh, setting macro security. I didn't realize that. I guess they have VRB scripting as well. So you've got LibreOffice that you're going to install for potentially blowing up, doc files or, XLS files or XLSX files. .NET 8.0. What do you need that for? It's good for when we're running net files. Oh, .NET. Okay, .NET files, right? You can open the .NET files. Go in and download those. Okay. DNSpy. Capture Pi. Okay. Wow. So yeah, there's. So I want to do the video. I want to give Jeff the due on the video. Probably go through and set those up. There's a ton of stuff here that still needs to be done. Setting up your Windows VM is just the tip of particular iceberg. There's a ton of tools that need to be installed on here, including DNSpy, Capture Pi, Detect It Easy, D4dot, PECIV, which is another good one I've heard of, VBS Edit, right, Command Watcher, Process Spawn Control, and then yeah, fix it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking at some of this last minute crises, troubleshooting. Okay. I definitely want to give this its due. Definitely want to make sure that people get a chance to watch this. I'm gonna spend some time setting up my Windows VM this weekend. At some point, I definitely want to have Jeff back on to talk about malware analysis, and maybe we'll sit down and find some nice vanilla malware that we can blow up in our sandbox after I've owned my own box, and be able to do that. But I definitely want to have Jeff back on in the flesh, and I'll have him like on the left side of the screen over there while I'm on the right side, and we'll be sharing my screen, and he can be like, damn it, Brian, just do what I tell you to do or something. And but yeah, excellent content. I'm glad I found you on Reddit. He was actually on what was it, our hacking, I think. No, let me see, I forget which one it was. Let me see. Yes, you can see all the Reddits that I'm a big fan of. Personal finance. Ah, there it is. It was in our cybersecurity. So there you go. 3.5 hours. Go check out the Reddit on there as well. I actually have been on Reddit a lot more this past couple of weeks because I get more engagement there. But yeah, so actually I said, hey, I'll stream it on Friday. There it is right there. So it's getting quite a bit of love. Go give some feedback in there and let them know, hey, great video, stream, and we'll get Jeff some love and get him some gold and stuff, whatever on there. So anyway, I don't normally stream this long, but I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out with me on a Friday like this. I hadn't meant to go this long, but it is a lot of great content, and I definitely needed to make sure that Jeff got his due. And we'll be back on Sunday because Miss Berlin, Mr. Betcher, and myself will be interviewing Fernando Montenegro, who is a security analyst, has worked at 451, worked at other organizations like, the Gartner types. So we're going to talk to him about what do you do with analyst reports? What's the relationship like with an analyst in a company? Kind of like how we did with Stuart with Northampton and recruiting and stuff. So DJ just started streaming. Oh, really? By the way, I also am a huge fan of the How You Doing Friends Reddit. So I'm a Friends and Star Trek fanatic. DJ, give me the name, fix it, and I will make sure that I raid that person. Because I apparently do not follow that person. So, DJ Chateau. Okay. Let me go and do a quick follow. and we'll see what kind of content we got going on here. All right. Very cool. Yeah, there we go. All right, raid incoming. All right, so let's go raid DJ, and I will set up some time with Jeff at some point in the near future. That way we can get him on and start analyzing some malware and help him out, because I'm sure he wants to learn how to stream too, so we'll teach him what not to do. All right. Y'all have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves, because I'm fond of saying here, you only you have. And let's go support DJ.